Hi everybody, Kaiwaza with you. Welcome back to my channel and to our continuing video series of looking at my Hawaiian record collection one record at a time. We are on the letter A and we're going to resume where we left off in the last video, just looking at and chatting about my Hawaiian records one at a time. This first album today is from a musical production that I really know nothing about. It was written by Eaton Magoon Jr., published here in Hawaii, but this performance of it was recorded in New Zealand. It's called Aloha, a Spectacular New Musical.
Assignment. As Puritans we have a mission. We are the Lord's anointed lot. We must redeem our way.
There's a whole write-up of the storyline in the back. It is a comedy kind of thing about missionaries and cannibals and whatever. And the cast is a lot of Maori, New Zealand names there.
More better go easy, more better go slow, more better be happy today, tomorrow nobody know, more better be jolly.
It's from, there is a year on this, isn't there? Yeah, 1981. Hawaiian Aloha recordings, but as I said, it's from New Zealand.
Friendly things are all around you.
I don't know if it's ever put on here or whatever. I don't know anything about it. And this is the only recording of it I've ever seen. Next up we have a 2-album set. It's out of France, simply called Hawaii, using the French and Spanish spelling with one I, and by purported, whatever, to be by the Aloha Band. As I said, this is a 2-record set, gatefold. Before I show you the tracks, I will tell you though that there's the Aloha Band is just like a misnomer, or not a misnomer, but it's a fake name. These are all recordings, earlier recordings by several different artists, by Harry Hugassian, who was a French steel guitarist, by Walt Steenhuis, who was a UK steel guitarist originally from the Netherlands, and also I think it's a group. The third group that's here is I think it's Nalu Mehana, I believe, and his Pacific Islanders. It's an Australian group of Hawaiian musicians, Hawaiian-style musicians. Anyway, so there really is no Aloha Band. They're just calling it that, and it's actually different recordings from different artists here. I did want to point out a couple of funny, when they get things wrong sometimes. There is a song called Twilight Blues, Twilight, which they list as Tweely-Gut Blues. And also, there's a song called It's Just an Old Hawaiian Custom is the name of the song. An Old Hawaiian Custom, which they have listed as an Old Hawaiian Costume. I just think that's funny, but language differences. Festival Hawaii Records. Is this the 1980s, I think? Does it say? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, 1983. Anyway. So, no need to have this if you have those other recordings, but if you don't, some interesting things there. And now we come up to several albums by a group called the Aloha Hawaiians. However, be forewarned that they're all different groups. I guess they're not the same. I guess if you're coming up with the name for a group, and you're not excruciatingly creative, and you're the A&R people at the record company or whatever are like, hey, what are we gonna call this Hawaiian group? And they go, how about the Aloha Hawaiians? So I have a few records by the Aloha Hawaiians, none of whom are the same group. The first one is an album from Peters International Records, which is out of Switzerland, 1981. Well, New York is the record company. This was recorded in Switzerland, 1981, with the also equally uncreative title of Aloha Oy by the Aloha Hawaiians. It's about as generic as you can get. Pictured here is Lumahai Beach, which I think on Kauai has actually, the name I think has actually officially been changed to Bali High Beach, or it's just called that where Bali High in South Pacific was filmed. Anyway, this album is interesting because it is super easy listening. I mean, it is like Mantovani Orchestra, easy listening with a Hawaiian steel guitar. However, the songs are all quite authentic Hawaiian songs from like the late 1800s. A lot of Hawaiian royalty compositions that have been put into versions quite different than they normally are heard. So it's kind of an interesting album. The steel guitar is very twangy, whatever, but interesting record. By way of a story, I got this record at a time when I wasn't finding very many Hawaiian records. I was living in Charleston, South Carolina for a few years, and we went to which is not, as you can understand, a plethora of Hawaiian records. And we went to a flea market in Charleston, North Charleston somewhere, and a bunch of people selling things out in the open and in tents and whatever. And somebody had some records, and I remember finding this record there and being kind of excited because at that time I wasn't finding much of anything. So, Switzerland, Aloha Hawaiians. Now here's another group, another foreign release from the Aloha Hawaiians, although I'm not sure where this one is from. This is Phillips Records also, but it doesn't actually have a country of release on it, which is interesting. It's called Salina 4, number 4, volume 4, I guess. Dreams of Hawaii, the Aloha Hawaiians. Nice glossy cover. I don't know who these artists actually are, most likely Indonesian artists given the track listing. A couple of Hawaiian songs, some songs like Beautiful Dreamer, non-Hawaiian pop songs, and then quite a few of the Indonesian kronkjunk songs, which do very nicely as Hawaiian songs. Nice record, this one, but I don't know really who they are. And a last album by the Hawaiian Islanders I have are these Aloha Hawaiians. These Aloha Hawaiians come from Great Britain, and under the direction of Don Todd, who I believe is also the lead steel guitarist here, I think. Kind of a nice cover, generic, but kind of nice. Nice silhouette, sunset silhouette picture, and a glossy cover again. Now this record, definitely parts of it sound very steel guitar, or very country, the way the steel guitar is played as opposed to Hawaiian. There's kind of a different style there, and they do go back and forth a little bit, and some of this sounds kind of country. But there are a couple tracks on here I really enjoy. I think what is, if I'm remembering, I think it's the Sad Hills. I don't know, one of them is like, it's very blues. I'll play it in the background. I kind of like it. Kind of reminds me of Beautiful Girls in Sunshine, which is one of the budget recordings. That's a blues recording that I like. The date is 1967 on this one, a bit earlier, Columbia Records. And I think what they say on here that's very funny to me in the liner notes, that something, you know, you read something and it kind of sticks with you sometimes. This quote kind of stuck with me here. Now this is a British record, right? So they have Bath and Blackpool and all these seaside resorts. I love seaside resorts conceptually. I mean, I live in a big one, but I love whether they're, you know, I grew up in South Carolina going to Myrtle Beach, whether they're, you know, wherever, anywhere in the world, big ones, small ones, rustic, posh, whatever. I love just the idea of seaside resorts. And I know Blackpool in Great Britain is kind of a very, I've seen some videos too, a very built up, huge, you know, resort British coast area that's kind of very tacky and I mean, it looks like fun to me, but so different from the beaches here. But they refer to it here, they said, let's see, very long liner notes, but it says, a cynical traveler recently returned from Hawaii, passing the rather daunting comment that it was now the Blackpool of the South Seas. But even if this assessment is accurate, both locations must surely have features and atmosphere entirely different in character and effect. I live in Waikiki, and I kind of love the idea of, you know, Waikiki being the Blackpool of the South Seas. I sort of think that in my head walking around because, yeah, of course, Waikiki has tons of, you know, big hotels, small hotels, tons and tons of tourist shops and stuff, and I love it. I love it. Anyway. That's the Aloha Hawaiians. Now that's all the records I have from the Aloha Hawaiians. I'm sure there probably are other albums out there by groups called the Aloha Hawaiians, and I'd love to find them, but that's all I have. So we're going to stop there for today. I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and any comments you have on these records or thoughts about them, let me know. And if you like this kind of music, I got a couple links going on here. One to my online radio station if you're in the US. Also have another YouTube channel that's just all music, not me talking, just music. So you might enjoy that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.